Hello everybody, I bet you were expecting to have your midsection challenge. We're almost there. I've gone ahead and inserted this video because I've gotten feedback where people are getting confused, and these are quite common mishaps. It happens to me surprisingly often considering my experience as well. So what do I mean by this? Well, generally as you get more confident, you end up moving around the keyboard and the interface much quicker. You've got that newfound confidence. So I will show you a couple of instances, hiding objects and viewport shading options that often crop up when you are doing basic transforms, for instance. So let's go ahead, let's select our cube here, and let's say we're moving it around and we constrain it to the Z axis. All common stuff so far. Occasionally you will think you press G and inadvertently hit Z, and if you are moving your mouse at the same time, you will automatically switch the viewport shading to something else. What is happening is when you press Z, this radial menu comes up, and because you're moving quickly, you're selecting one of these four options. The default option that we've been working on is solid, which can also be selected up here in the top right of the 3D viewport. It's the second one along. Or let's say you're moving an object and you want to say not in the Z direction, but again you've misclicked or mispressed the G key, it hasn't registered, and then you go Shift and Z, and again that's the shortcut to turn on wireframe mode. And again, it's a viewport shading issue. We can just set it back to solid mode here. Now another common one is the H key. It's right next to G, so if you're intending on moving an object and you press H, it will hide that object. If we have a look at the outliner, the little eye icon itself has been turned off. It turns off the visibility of that object, which can be incredibly useful if you want to hide something from your scene. If you need to work on an object and it's stuck behind another object and it's difficult to select, well, you can either turn off selectability for other objects, we've already had a look at that, or you can just hide it out of the way. And since we're talking about hiding, what we can also do is hide everything but the selected item. And like I said before, when we're turning off the selectability of an object, well, the lamp and the camera often get in the way. Why don't we just hide everything but the object that we're working on? And you can do that with Shift and H. It keeps the selected object visible and hides everything else, including any other mesh objects that you have in your scene. And finally, if you want to bring everything back, you can either go to the outliner and click on the eye icons. You can also click and drag, by the way, on here and turn things off in one fell swoop, which is really useful. But if you've got a couple of hundred objects in your scene, which is quite possible, that's going to be a difficult task. Let's go and Shift and H to hide the lamp and the camera. We can bring everything back with Alt and H. So that's just a few things to watch out for, common pitfalls that are very easy to accidentally do. Just be conscious of the keys you're pressing and be deliberate, and try not to rush around, especially if you're new, because it's very easy to inadvertently trip yourself up like that. That's it for this lecture, and let's crack on with this midsection challenge.